the extent of our abortion laws, that viable children were being aborted here in Victoria. So to the community of Victoria, I say, you may choose to look away, but you can never say again that you did not know.
In fact, I was talking to a young woman in Colorado, and she didn't believe me when I said in our country, abortion is legal up until 9 months, the moment of birth, for any reason. She said, I don't believe you. So I decided to show her proof. I got out my smartphone and went to the website of an abortion provider with his rates for first, second, and third trimester, very exorbitant rates, I might add. So, not necessarily the most altruistic things, and we all know that, to know that this is really happening. But we have something on our side. We have the truth. We have the truth. You see, the only way people can fight the truth is to try to shut it up or shut it down. We can't let them do that. In fact, the philosopher Stephen Schwartz wrote a great book called The Moral Question of Abortion. He said there's only 4 differences between all of us here today and an unborn child, and none of them are morally relevant. There's an acronym to remember them. SLED, size. People say, how can you believe something's a person is just the size of a grain of rice? I'll say, well, how big do you have to be a person? L, level of development. Can't walk, talk, think, or feel like us. Not a human. Really? Walking, talking, so you don't believe our paraplegic, our disabled brothers and sisters are persons? Well, no, it's easier to belittle those who don't have a voice to tell you you're being bigoted and discriminatory. E, environment. It's not born yet. How does where I am change who I am? If I walk across this stage 8 feet, I don't stop being human. But then how does a baby moving 8 inches through the birth canal become a human? And D, degree of dependency. And this is what this bill is about, viability. And when I've heard this argument, well, it's not a person because it's not viable. It's one of the silliest arguments I've ever heard in my life. Something I think only philosophers could really believe. Of course a baby is viable. They're not viable at 24 weeks. They're viable at conception because they can live in their mother's body they're supposed to live in. My gracious hosts want to take me out tomorrow on a boat ride on my day off. What if they got sick of my American ways, pushed me off the boat 10 miles out to sea and said, well, we didn't kill Mr. Horn. You see, he's just not viable in the middle of the ocean. No, if you take a human being and put them in a place where they can't live, that's killing. That's homicide. That's wrong. And so what we're here to say today, that this rally is not just about one bill. It's not even just about the issue of abortion. It's about a group of people, different in many ways, but united in one cause. To say that human beings matter, not because of what we can do, not because of our functional abilities, but because we are human and we belong to the human family. In fact, when I make my case for life, you know what the other side invariably says to me? Fine, you're right, it is a baby. I just don't care. And so what I would say to that is, well, you've revealed your position. And your position is that might makes right. But our position is that right makes might. And true power doesn't come from being able to exploit the weakless, the weak, the defenseless, and to get rid of them because they're an impediment to our lives. True power comes from recognizing that all human beings from conception to natural death have an equal right to life. A right to life, a right to love, and a right to a lifetime. And I am so proud that you are all here to stand up for that. So thank you.
Making it very clear to our parliamentarians that killing babies in this state is not on. The fact of the matter is that if Rachel's bill is defeated next Wednesday, babies will die as a result.